let's go find 5 things that non-diabetics think are so good for your blood sugar. So grapes are fruit, it's wholesome. Yeah, it's good for you, but is it good for your blood sugar? Not really. In the land of diabetes, we refer to these as sugar bombs. When my blood sugar is low, I can eat just like 5 grapes and I know it will save my life because I will spike to the moon. And honestly, cherries are the same way. Sugar bombs. That being said, grapes and cherries, they're not processed. They've got a lot of vitamins and minerals in them. It's just that they do also contain a lot of sugar. So obviously these cereals are total junk. We already know these are loaded with sugar, but what about the healthy cereals that are, you know, whole grain and good for your heart? Cheerios. Cheerios are supposed to, I don't know, reduce your risk of a heart attack, but guess what? These are 1,000% processed. Pure starch with 1,000,000 preservatives. So if you're eating Cheerios because you love them, hey, go for it, enjoy your Cheerios. But you're not benefiting your health by eating Cheerios. And any diabetic could tell you that it takes a lot of insulin to manage your blood sugar after a bowl of Cheerios. Okay. I don't know, all brand, this might actually be a healthy one. It's got wheat bran sugar, psyllium seed husk, which is just them adding corn fiber to it to make it look healthy. It says it has 17 grams of dietary fiber. That's because they added psyllium husk, which is just corn fiber. So they're making it look like, oh, it's the bran, it's so good for you. But they artificially added a bunch of fiber to this. 36 grams of carbs in a serving. A serving is a half a cup. Do you only have a half a cup of all bran in your little cereal bowl? That's like teeny tiny. This will definitely spike your blood sugar. This is still ultra processed. Raisin Bran. They have been trying to convince older people to eat this for their health for decades. This is ultra processed. Like, you know that's not what bran looks like, right? They took a bunch of starch, ground it down, stuck a bunch of preservatives and stuff to hold it all together, including some sugar, and created what looks like a flake so that you think it's all natural. It's not. 47 grams of carbs in a serving, and a serving is 1 cup, so at least they're generous with the serving. But there's a lot of starch in here, and this will spike your blood sugar, especially if you have diabetes. Also, yeah, there's raisins in here, and technically raisins are whole food. It's just a grape that's been dried up. But raisins are like concentrated sugar. Crackling Oat Bran. This is my guilty pleasure. It has so much gluten in it, I can't actually eat it. But it is so good, and it's made to look so healthy. Look at that, it looks so healthy. This will spike your blood sugar like whoa. This is so processed. It is just as processed as Reese's Peanut Butter Cup cereal. And let's compare the sugar. 16 grams of sugar. Let's go compare. 12 grams of sugar. There is more sugar in Cracklin' Oat Bran than there is in Reese's Peanut Butter Cup cereal. 17 grams of sugar in a serving of Raisin Bran. Raisin Bran is good for your health, right? Let's compare. Fruit Loops, Toucan Sam, 12 grams of sugar. Fruit Loops has less sugar in it than Raisin Bran. Honey Bunches of Oats, that's gotta be kinda healthy, right? Let's see. Okay, only 9 grams of sugar, which isn't bad considering Raisin Bran has 17. But the list of ingredients here, holy moly, there's a lot of preservatives in this. This is ultra processed. They did throw in the almonds, so there's something in there that isn't as processed. Grape nuts. This doesn't look appealing. I mean, this actually looks like it might be healthy because it doesn't look very yummy. It has a load of carbohydrates in it, just like everything else here. It does have some fiber in it, and that might actually be some inherently natural fiber that came with the grain instead of artificially added. And only 5 grams of sugar. Not a bad way to go if you can get it down. Even grape nuts loaded with carbs. All the cereal is ultra processed starch, and it will spike your blood sugar like whoa. In fact, I only eat cereal when I know I'm like near death from a low blood sugar from having too much insulin on board. I know that if I am plummeting and my blood sugar is crashing and I'm scared for my life, that's when I'll go get a bowl of cereal because I know the cereal will save me. That's how processed and carb loaded every type of cereal really is. Rice. I have a secret to tell you. It doesn't matter if it's fancy quinoa or brown rice or rice grown in your grandmother's backyard. All rice is really starchy, and the amount of fiber in this, 3 grams, that does not offset the amount of carbs of 38 grams that spike your blood sugar so quickly. Part of why rice spikes your blood sugar so much is because there isn't much else in it in terms of protein and fat. So it just breaks down like immediately. All these fancy grains, I mean, yes, if your body can handle carbohydrates and handle them well, then hey, have your grains. But if you're trying to get your blood sugar down, all of this, all of it, raises your blood sugar quite significantly. And I gotta tell you, as a type 1 who loves rice, especially with butter and pink Himalayan sea salt on it, it doesn't matter if it's brown rice or quinoa with a whole lot of fiber, it still spikes your blood sugar like whoa. Going on a gluten-free diet just to be healthier isn't necessarily better for your blood sugar if you're just replacing it with ultra-processed gluten-free pastas and breads. This is pure starch. It's gonna raise your blood sugar just as much as the glutinous pasta in the next aisle over. I have made this when I'm really craving pasta and I need so much insulin for it. It does not matter that it was made with brown rice. It is still this ultra processed starchy grain, grinded down, broken down, gummed back together to make a cute shape, and it will raise your blood sugar just as much as the gluten loaded pasta version. Juice. I don't care how fancy the bottle is. Morning blend, is this how you're starting your day? The juice from the fruit is all the sugar. 29 grams of sugar in 1 serving of this. If you are trying to improve your blood sugar, if you're trying to improve your overall health, drinking juice is kind of like drinking a small bowl of Skittles. There's some craze going on lately with tart cherry juice. This is just sugar. This is dessert. This is a really healthy dessert. Your kids don't really need it either. It is just giving your kids dessert. If you want to give them juice for dessert, you know, and you're counting it as their dessert intake or whatever for the day, yeah, give your kids juice. Honest juice. It looks so healthy, but it's still just sugar in liquid form. You cut it in half with water, you're just like diluting the Skittles. If you want to drink juice, hey, drink the juice. But just don't like convince yourself that it's good for your blood sugar because it's this organic fruit sourced thing. It's just sugar. Listen, I'm not trying to ruin your day and say that you shouldn't eat any of these things. I love grapes. I love carbs. I eat carbs every day. But you want to think about, are the carbs I'm eating actually just like processed sugary junk and I should be considering them dessert? Am I eating these foods because I think I'm doing myself a favor because they're healthy? If you're struggling with your blood sugar, struggling with your weight, take a closer look at what's actually in those healthy foods. Look, my diet is not all broccoli and organic kale. I love gluten-free Oreos, but I have made space in my diet for dessert every day, once a day, at the end of the day. The rest of the day, I try to make really wholesome decisions. So it's like this 80-20 diet. I don't go nuts about it. I still put salad dressing on my salad, and that salad dressing is definitely processed and it has a little bit of sugar in it too. The general goal is that I'm eating mostly whole foods during the day and I'm saving room for that really starchy treat at the end of the day. You know, the perfect diet doesn't have to be perfect foods all day long. There is room for the starchy junk, for the treats, for the extra indulgent, calorie-loaded, yummy thing that you just love. But you just learn how to create a little balance, that 80-20 diet. Find my free downloadable 80-20 guide in the show notes on this video.